He hasn't steered us wrong yet.
To be honest, true trust is a luxury at the moment. I need certain information, and he's the only one who can offer it. It pertains to my own personal quest. I'm sure there'll be time to explain it, if our paths remain crossed for the near future.
I'd rather get right to work than spend all morning jawing out here in the open.
Aye, all business. I like that in a woman.
Get in line, you twig.
She started it.
Aye, and I'll be finishing it too.
I can tell this is going to be an interesting day.
The gate's not too far from here. Big wall, huge doors, can't miss it.
We might be wanting to check in with Tarlin. Make sure we're square on the caravan job. I'm not holding out hope for a glowing review.
Keep heart, my new friends. I have a feeling that the help you need is just through those gates. What can I do for you? There is not much to tell. I have dedicated myself to the search for a relic called the Moon Tear. A relic of Sehanine, lost decades ago as a result of my own childish ignorance. I remember I was around 15 years old, a toddling babe by elven reckoning. I had a friend, Serik, the best companion a young girl could have. But my parents did not approve of our friendship. My parents scolded and punished and eventually kept me from my dear friend, the one child with whom I could play, laugh, and experience joy. One day, I was out playing, on my own, when a group of travelers approached me. They said they were hungry and in need of supplies, but I could tell that they were drow. Even then, I knew what that meant. But, consumed by my childish anger and ignorance, I decided that... Gods forgive me. I decided that a confrontation with the drow would be a fitting punishment for my mother and father, for denying me Serik's companionship. I was, but it was no excuse for what I did. In a fit of pique, I gave the drow travelers directions to our village, hoping to... I don't know what I hoped. I wanted my parents to hurt the way they made me hurt. But what happened was much, much worse. The drow turned out to be forward scouts for a raiding party. They invaded our village, killing and capturing my people, my family. We had been given the sacred honor of protecting a relic of Sehanine. While ransacking our home, the drow took the Moon Tear. I knew of the drow. I knew what they were capable of. I just I thought such tragedy was the thing of stories and fables, not of real life. I search now for the moon tear, both to recover it for my goddess, but also in the hopes of making amends for my sins, for my wrath, my ignorance. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted. If there's nothing else, I'd like to take a moment and reflect. We met under tense circumstances, but things will get easier from here on, if the gods will it. The sooner we meet with Soranil, the sooner we can both be on our way. With apologies, I have opened my past to you. Perhaps as we travel together, there will be more to share. The Lady of Dreams go with you.
What do you need? Aye, we haven't had a chance to talk very much since she joined up, have we? Me family goes way back. Back to Mithril Hall, if you believe that. Our family scattered from there after Shimmergloom attacked. And we returned when King Battlehammer signed the treaty with the Many Arrow Orcs. Aye, we were smiths. I know, be still your heart, but we were good. Me clan got the name Stoneforge because it says me ancestor could forge stone into a blade fit for battle. Why you'd want to do that, I'll never know. Me ma and da left for Mirabar just before I was born. Looking to expand the family business, they said. Too much competition from other smiths, I say. Me da was anything but stupid, that's for sure. We made good coin there, and we made a name for ourselves in Mirabar. I worked in the forge as a wee lass, swinging a hammer right alongside me da. Funny remembering it now. I'm not sure I hated it as much as I thought I did. Well, I need to get a bite to eat. Maybe we'll find some time to talk later. We've got to get into Luskan and see this contact of theirs. If he knows anything about why we were attacked, he might know who we should be stabbing next. I'm done talking for now. Come ask me later. Don't be a stranger.
What can I do for you? Where should I begin? Well, I was born in a small village near Longsaddle to very young parents who were farmers just because their own parents had been farmers and had all died the winter before. No, they all killed each other. An ancient family feud. Very tragic, really. My ma told me it started over the ownership of an enormous tomato and grew from there, as these things do. When I was born, my ma and da hoped I'd be able to help them out on the farm. But really, they'd have been better off hiring a farmhand. It's like they didn't realise I'd be born as a baby and not as a strapping lad of 13 years. Yes. Honestly, they can blame themselves for that one, though they pretty much blamed me. You might not know it to look at me now, but I was a scrawny child, and I was of little use on the farm. I tried very hard, but I never really took to manual labour. So my parents did what I believe any other loving parents in their situation would do. They sought around for someone willing to trade. A son for a son. And the next thing I knew, I met my Uncle Kipper. You know, remembering all that now, I'm starting to think that maybe my parents weren't as loving as I once thought. If you don't mind, I'd rather like some time to think. I've spent precious little time in Luskan, which is fine with me. Any time I'm here, I wind up getting mugged or kidnapped or blackmailed. It's not a pretty town. If you don't mind, I'd rather talk about something else. All right, you know where to find me.
Something you need? Ah, it's not much of a tale. I were born in Westgate, near the Sea of Fallen Stars. My family were traders. They'd moved out of East Rift and sought a home among the humans. My father made a lot of coin very quickly there, mostly doing things he shouldn't have been doing, bribing officials for shipping contracts, smuggling goods into and out of town, that sort of thing. My mother never approved of my father's business. From the day she found out what we were up to, she started making contingency plans. She wasn't going to let Pa's problems bleed over into family. She was. I'm alive because of her. Finally, my father's Sturges came home to roost. He were murdered by rivals. And my mother took me siblings and I, hopped on a caravan and moved us all the way west to the City of Sails. And there we have it. How a fine young dwarf like me got mixed up in a place like Luskan. You know, this really takes me back. But I have some sleeping and resting that needs doing. Maybe we could wax nostalgic another time. You and your friends fight like you've seen a skirmish or two. Ha ha! It'll be fun sneaking off and stealing things while you do all the work. I'm tired. Let's plunge into the depths of memory another time. Don't be a stranger.